All right, hey, what's up, guys? Coach Mac, Play Fast Football. All right, today we're going to take a look at using the tailback as a wrapper on counter plays. So an interesting way to get to counter from some 10 personnel stuff and some 20 personnel stuff. Tie it to some of your RPO deals and ways that you can run your gap schemes from 10 personnel. Remember to check out some of our partners, GameStrat, Sideline Replay Company we use, Bishop Kenny High School. Last two high schools I've been at, we've used GameStrat. Highly reliable, highly affordable, great customer service. Make sure you check out why everybody is making the change to GameStrat. Dome Hats, headwear company we use. Play Fast Football. Every high school that I have been at in my career so far has always used Dome Hats. This is one of our custom BK Crusader hats with BK logo, Dome logo on the side. All right, completely customizable. You design your own hat. Snapback, Velcro, fitted. Tons of styles to choose from. Stock hats suck. Check out Dome Hats. Baker Sporting Goods, which provides us with our coaching gear, pullovers like this, our sideline gear. We get our player packs from them, our spirit packs, our fan gear comes from them, so make sure you check out Baker Sporting Goods. Brandtek, a company that does it all. They have custom sublimation. They've made me custom sneakers, Play Fast sneakers, some pullover stuff that I wear. So their sublimation is awesome. They've got locker room disinfectants that kill, a bunch of different, things that you need to fight, the MRSA, staph infection, all the things that you may be fighting in your locker room. They've got sports drinks. They do it all. Make sure you check out Brandtek. Modern Football, real-time analytics that help you in-game as a coach, right? You can make all the adjustments you need to make. You don't have to wait till halftime. You don't have to have it written down on a piece of paper. Real-time analytics increases staff productivity, makes you a better game night coach. Major high school programs, college programs are all using it. Make sure you check out Modern Football. FlyRouteDrones, the #1 drone company for athletics in the nation. All right, I use everything we teach off of, all of our practice film, 7-on-7 summer stuff. Everything is taught from a drone angle. It's the best angle to teach from when you're using an end zone shot. Sometimes as the ball moves, you got to focus in. It gets too far away. All right, you don't like the height of it, or you can't change the height of it that easy. Drones are the best angles to teach from. Make sure you check out FlyRoute. And then DifferenceUSA, the ultimate striking machine. You get thousands of reps without needing a partner. If you want to strike violently, then you've got to practice striking violently. They set up right in the weight room on your racks that you currently have in your weight room. So check out DifferenceUSA. So back when I was calling offensive stuff, one of the things I didn't like about 10 personnel is if you weren't a really good zone football team, you kind of limited yourself to what your run game was, right? So you could, if you were a gap scheme team, you could motion some guys and you can run jet power read, or you could run some GT bash stuff, and there was some read game elements to it, but I felt like you lost some things in your gap schemes when you were 10 personnel. Outside of those read components, you lost some of your RPOs if you weren't a good zone team, all right, or if you didn't have the ability to lock stuff and zone lock stuff, you lost some of your RPOs. So one of the things that I've started seeing teams doing for the last couple of years, and now that it's the off season, I can watch some college games, and I saw it 4 or 5 different times this weekend, is guys are using the tailback as the wrapper to run their counter schemes. All right, so they're running quarterback counter with the tailback as a wrapper, right, and they're doing it off a mesh action. So you could still have it set up to where you may be running some version of your RPO game, right? So if you had stick there, and then maybe you had it tied to some type of access fast screen on this side, all right, well, now what you can do is you can get to your counter runs, all right, to where now you're going to pull kick, you're going to mesh with the tailback here, all right, and on the mesh you might be reading some type of RPO deal, but after the mesh the tailback becomes the wrapper and he's the second blocker in the counter scheme, right? So now you get to a way that you can run counter, the tailback becomes the wrapper. Obviously, you got to have a quarterback that can run, and you got to have a tailback that doesn't mind sticking his nose in there, but if you use him for pass protection, other things, probably is a decent blocker, right? So it's got to think about your personnel a little bit, but now you can get to where you can run counter schemes, right? And now in a world where one back would always have to be GT, some type of bash read or something else because you were always losing that other puller, well, now off the mesh you can still mesh it, RPO it, whatever you want to do out there, and now off the mesh he becomes the second blocker, he becomes the wrapper, right? And now you get yourself in a world where when you're using the tailback, now all of a sudden you've got the 6 blockers that you need, you have the kick out block that you need, you have the wrapper that you need, so you can do all the things that you want to do using that tailback as the wrapper, right? If you were in the 3x1 world, okay, I could certainly see it to where in the 3x1 world you could RPO it reading a 3rd level safety, right? So you could probably do it to either side depending on your quarterback's ability and how you wanted to do it. All right, but I could certainly see you having RPOs to the 3 receiver side and to the single, right? So if you were living in some type of 3x1 world, right, and now you can get yourself to where, all right, let's see how that weak side safety handles 3x1. Did they bar them to the front side? If they bar them to the front side, well, let's get ourselves in a world where we go 3 vertical. All right, and you can do, again, out here, you could probably do whatever you want it to do. So let's just run a version of stick out there with 3 vertical. All right, and now we get ourselves into a deal where we can double that to go back, block back, hinge to B gap, pull kick, mesh, read the 3rd level safety. If the 3rd level safety is a support guy, now we can throw 3 vertical. If 3 vertical holds the backside safety over the top, now after the mesh, that becomes the wrapper. All right, and now off the mesh, bad angle there, it would probably be, now off the mesh, the tailback becomes the wrapper. Here's your access throw, right, whatever you want to do on that side. So if you're in the tempo world, you've got your, your constraint plays, you've got your tempo deals, you've got access to the single if you want to rip it. If they're borrowing the safety, you've got 3 vertical, all right, off the RPO, and now the tailback becomes the wrap player on the counter. So you're getting back to your base gap scheme runs. You're able to run the gap schemes that you like to run, because for me, when I was calling offenses in 10 personnel, I felt like we lost the ability to run some isolation theories and some gap scheme theories, unless they were all, like I said, bash, power read, jet motion, things like that. Well, as soon as you jet motion, now they know some of the things that are coming. So I wanted a way to be able to run the ball within our scheme, within the things that we do, all right, and using the tailback as a wrapper is the way you can do that. So now we've got 6 guys in the box, we've got 6 guys to block it. If they borrow the backside safety, we could go 3 vertical, all right, on that side. And now if the backside safety is down off the mesh, we could throw the 3 vert. If they borrow them, now we can run the quarterback counter, right? If they were a team that wanted to handle, however they want to do it, they're going to leave the backside safety down, and maybe they're a 4-2-5 team, or a team that they're a 3 safety team. So now maybe over here, they get you in a world where they play some type of read deal. All right, over here, if they did that, they would probably kick it, something like that. All right, so now they don't borrow the backside safety, they leave the backside safety down. Well, now what we can do is we can get ourselves into a deal where, all right, now whatever we want to do, the access is going to happen on this side, right? So if we wanted to do that, and that for numbers, all right, and then the read side is now going to be the glance route, all right, to the single. So now we're going to run the same GT system, all right, and we're going to run the glance to the single. If the weak safety pokes his nose in there, all right, then we want to throw the glance. If the weak safety hangs out underneath the glance, now we run the counter right back at him. Again, it's quarterback counter with the tailback as a wrapper, all right, and now we've got the numbers we want. We've got RPO deals. We've got everything built in the way we want to build it in, right? So we can play with tempo. We know we could attack the weak safety with if he's borrowed, we can go 3 vertical and attack him. If he's down and away from the trip side, and they handle the trip side with their nickel or their whatever personnel they're playing, and they rotate to the trip side and they leave him backside, now we can go back at him with the same, all right, run look, and we can throw the glance behind him. Obviously, we could run the same counter play to the trips if we wanted to, right? So there's a lot of different options that you have in there, all right? And then the other good one that fits the way we used to play that I saw somebody run this weekend was they got into a split back 20 personnel world. All right, so they got themselves into a split back deal. All right, so they were 20 personnel, split back. And now they just got themselves in a very simple deal where they push motion. So they pushed the back out there, blocked it up on the front side. So they had the flare on that side. They had access built in on that side. And now all they did was they read off an inside backer to see what he does. And then they blocked their counter deal, pulled, wrapped out to that. And now you've got yourself a nice little RPO tempo deal where you've got Q counter with one of the backs as the wrapper off the mesh. If you get the mic, all right, if the mic leaves, all right, on the motion, if they push, you can run the counter at them. If the mic stays and you like the numbers, you have this blocked up and you just throw the tailback push. If you get one-on-one back here, so if this guy stays somewhere high or even borrowed to the middle. Now you've got the access deal over here, right? So it's built in to where you can run counter plays, all right? You could even run, like I could see it in a world where you could run it as isolation theories, right? So the same deal. I like it more as a counterplay because if you're not a zone lock team or you're not a team that you know, does well with individual blocks, you want more double teams, you want more combinations. You know, I could certainly see the same thing in the isolation world, right, to where you get yourself into a scenario where now you can run your ISO theories. All the things that I used to struggle with when we were 10 personnel, I didn't like the fact that we lost some of our gap schemes, we lost some of our isolation theories. Right, so now if it was an isolation theory, it would be that to that with leverage already, push him out, mesh him, and become the ISO blocker, right? And now you've got that blocked up, you've got the push screen, you've got the quarterback ISO, you've got whatever access deals you want on that side, right? So to me, it gets us back into a world where in 10 personnel, we don't have to just say that we're zone read or we're whatever type of, you know, one-back run game there is. We don't always have to jet motion and run bash or power read. We now have a way to run our cap scheme counter plays off of our RPOs, some different formations that we like to use, 10 personnel, 20 personnel, in the tempo world, built in with access throws so that we can play really quick. We've got RPO deals in there. It's clean pictures for the quarterback, but we still have a way to run our hard ball base runs. Obviously, one, your quarterback's got to be a runner. If he's not, then you don't do those things. Number two, your tailback has to be a tough enough kid to block people, isolation, or wrap on backers or overhangs, depending on the look when you are running counter, because he's the second blocker in the counter play. So just some things I picked up now that I've had a chance to watch a little bit of football, watch some of these games that are going on, and trying to see some different things that are out there. Obviously, counter scheme is not new. Using a back as a blocker is not new. Trying to use quarterback runs from 10 personnel because you like the box numbers. None of these things are new. They're just different things that I've noticed, things that I never really paid attention to, never really tried. You know, when I was coaching offense, we didn't run any of those schemes where we used the tailback as a wrapper off the mesh or as a second blocker. We ran some lead runs with the tailback, but we usually subbed the tailback out, put a fullback or a sniffer in, and ran it from you know, some different formational deals to where it was apparent, looked to be one back, but we were really more two back in nature. The quarterback was the tailback, and we had a sniffer in there. This is true one back, 10 personnel. Make them line up to 10 personnel, make them line up to 20, and then get yourself into your traditional run schemes with your RPOs, access, tempo, tight end. All right, so hopefully everything is going well for you guys out there. If you're still playing in Florida, it'd be the state championship. Good luck to you guys. If your season's over, hopefully your off season's going well. Remember to click the subscribe button. All right, turn the notifications on so you know every time we do a video like this or we jump on YouTube Live. Thumbs up, thumbs down. If you think this is something you've been doing for years, thumbs down. If you like the video, thumbs up. It's your opinion. That's what makes it great. All right, I do the videos. You are entitled to your opinion. I appreciate you watching. You can give any thumbs up, thumbs down you want. Leave a comment. I try to respond to as many comments as I can. Make sure you check out our partners that take care of us. If you're in the football world and you need replay hats, or you need apparel, or you need locker room disinfectants, sports drinks, or if you need real-time analytics, you need drones, you need a striking machine, check out our partners. They're the best in the business. They take care of us, so we need to take care of them. All right, I appreciate you guys being here. Thanks for watching the video. Remember, you won't play well until you play fast. See you guys next time.